Hi friends. Welcome to the channel Doctor on Travel. Venezuela is one of the most beautiful and diverse countries in South America, known for its stunning landscapes, rich culture, and dramatic history. From the vibrant streets of Caracas to the breathtaking wilderness of Angel Falls in Canaima National Park, the country offers unforgettable experiences for travelers. Historic places like Bolívar Square and the Caracas Cathedral reflect Venezuela's colonial and independence history, while the landscapes, mountains, and jungles reveal the incredible natural beauty that makes this country truly unique. When I told people I was planning a trip to Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro's country, the reactions were almost universal: "Don't go, it's dangerous, no one should be flying into Caracas, and you'll regret it." Maduro, who was in power when I visited, has since been removed from Venezuela and is now in the United States, facing legal proceedings. That alone tells you this country has been at the center of intense international attention and controversy. Countries like the US and many others currently issue do not travel advisories for Venezuela due to crime, civil unrest, and political tensions. Official warnings highlight risks like violent crime, kidnapping, and arbitrary law enforcement, and recommend against travel for most foreigners. So did I feel unsafe? Not in the way many people imagined. Yes, the warnings sound serious on paper, and you should absolutely approach them with respect. But when I was there, I found that in the cities, and especially in the well-trodden tourist areas, safety felt normal, as long as you take typical precautions you take anywhere else in the world. In Caracas, I walked through bustling streets, took taxis arranged by hotels, and visited iconic public spaces like Bolívar Square and the Cathedral. I also saw the monument dedicated to Hugo Chavez, a reminder of Venezuela's modern political story. Outside the capital, the real magic of Venezuela came alive. In Canaima National Park, I stood in awe at Angel Falls, the highest waterfall in the world, its thunderous cascade framed by lush tepus and jungle that feel more primordial than earthly. I also explored Galipan, a small mountain town above Caracas where the cool air and panoramic views of the city make it feel like a completely different world. Then there was San Agustin, a place steeped in local culture, crafts, and breathtaking landscapes that contrast with headlines about instability. Across all these places, there were museums filled with history, plazas echoing with stories of independence, and ordinary people going about their lives with a resilience that struck me deeply. Now that Maduro is no longer in power and global attention has intensified, Venezuela's challenges, political, economic, and security, are front-page headlines. But travel is more than risk assessments and advisories. It's about experiencing places through the eyes of the people who live there, understanding their history, and seeing beauty that most travelers never get to. If you do decide to travel to Venezuela, or anywhere with complex safety perceptions, do your research, stay alert, respect local guidance, and take the usual precautions. For me, the journey was unforgettable, and the country's vibrant culture, incredible nature, and warm people made every moment worth it. Plaza Bolívar is the historic heart of Caracas and one of the most important public squares in Venezuela. Named after the South American independence hero Simón Bolívar, the plaza features an iconic equestrian statue of Bolívar at its center.
It's very funny, but this cathedral is the most important in the city. It's the Cathedral of Caracas.
Caracas Cathedral, officially known as the Metropolitan Cathedral of St. Anne, is one of the most important historic churches in Caracas, Venezuela. Located on the eastern side of Plaza Bolívar, the cathedral has been a spiritual and historical center of the city for centuries. The original church on this site dates back to the 17th century and has been rebuilt several times after earthquakes that struck Caracas. Inside the cathedral, visitors can see beautiful gilded altars, historic religious artworks, and the chapel of the Bolívar family. The parents and wife of the famous independence leader Simón Bolívar are buried here, and Bolívar himself was baptized in this cathedral. Today, the Caracas Cathedral remains an active place of worship and a symbol of Venezuela's colonial history, religious heritage, and national identity. Plaza Bolívar is not just a historical square in Caracas, It is also a lively meeting place where people come to relax, socialize, and enjoy the atmosphere of the city. The plaza features his statue at the center, surrounded by shaded walkways, benches, fountains, and tall trees. Throughout the day, the plaza is filled with local life. Residents sit on the benches chatting with friends, elderly people play chess or simply watch the world go by, and families bring children to enjoy the open space. Street vendors often sell snacks, drinks, or small souvenirs, adding to the lively character of the place.
A real fight against freedom and democracy is very important for the democracy in the country. Caracas got the four, and right there you look the general captain of meeting point, yeah. For dancing, for dancing the old people. It's very, yes. For dancing the old people, it's coming to this square to dancing the whole afternoon. It's very beautiful. This obelisk is the representation of
Casa Natal del Libertador is one of the most important historic landmarks in Caracas, because it is the birthplace of the great South American liberator Simón Bolívar. Bolívar was born here in 1783, and from this house began the life of a man who would later lead the independence movements that freed several countries from Spanish rule. The house is a beautifully preserved colonial building with traditional architecture, featuring large courtyards, thick walls, wooden balconies, and red-tiled roofs typical of the Spanish colonial period. Today, it has been converted into a museum where visitors can see paintings, historical documents, weapons, and personal items connected to Bolívar's life. Inside the museum, there are also impressive murals depicting Bolívar's military campaigns and the struggle for independence across South America. Walking through the rooms of this historic house allows visitors to imagine the early life of the man who later became known as El Libertador. For Venezuelans, Casa Natal del Libertador is not just a museum but a powerful symbol of national pride and the beginning of the independence movement that shaped the history of the continent.
Inside of you got the Caracas representation of the history of the city. You got the fountain of the four.
Museo Criollo Roll Santana is a small but fascinating museum located in the historic center of Caracas, close to Plaza Bolívar. The museum is situated on the ground floor of the municipal palace and showcases objects and artworks related to the everyday life and history of Venezuela. The museum was created around the work of Venezuelan artist Raul Santana, who produced detailed miniature figures and scenes representing traditional Venezuelan life, customs, and culture. These miniature displays portray markets, rural life, and historical moments, giving visitors a glimpse into how ordinary people lived in earlier times.
President Juan Carlos Sublet was the commander-in-chief of the army.
Inside the museum, visitors can also see historical artifacts, models of colonial Caracas, and various cultural objects connected to the development of the city. Galipan is a charming mountain village located on the northern slopes of El Ávila National Park, just above Caracas. Surrounded by lush green mountains and fresh mountain air, Galipan feels like a peaceful countryside escape only a short distance from the busy capital. The village has a history of more than 200 years and was originally settled by immigrants from the Canary Islands who developed farming communities in the mountains. Even today, Galipan is famous for its flower farms, fruit plantations, and traditional agriculture, which have long supplied fresh produce to the markets of Caracas. Visitors usually reach Galipan by jeep rides through the mountain roads or by cable car via El Ávila, making the journey itself an adventure. Once there, travelers can enjoy small restaurants, cozy inns, and spectacular viewpoints overlooking both the Caribbean Sea and the city of Caracas. A trip to Angel Falls, the world's highest waterfall located in Canaima National Park, is truly an adventure rather than just a simple visit. The journey usually begins with a small aircraft flying over vast jungles and Tepuy mountains before landing at the tiny airstrip in Canaima, a remote village surrounded by nature. The airport is very small and simple, and visitors are welcomed by the local indigenous Pemen people, who have lived in this region for generations and serve as guides for travelers exploring the park. From Canaima, the journey continues by motorized canoe along the river. The long wooden boats travel through winding jungle rivers, sometimes passing strong currents and shallow sections, making the ride exciting and slightly risky. The trip can take several hours, with breathtaking views of dense rainforest and massive Tepuy cliffs rising dramatically from the landscape. At night, travelers stay in simple jungle camps, sleeping in hammocks under large open shelters. Facilities are basic, but the atmosphere is warm and friendly. Visitors and guides share meals together, talk, and relax like one big family in the middle of the rainforest. This simple way of living, far from modern comforts, makes the Angel Falls trip a unique experience, allowing visitors to connect with nature, local culture, and the raw beauty of Venezuela's wilderness. Colonia Tovar is a unique mountain town about 60 kilometers from Caracas, famous for its strong German heritage and beautiful alpine-style atmosphere. The town was founded in 1843 by immigrants from the Black Forest region of Germany, and even today their traditions, architecture, and culture remain clearly visible. Colonia Tovar is a unique mountain town about 60 kilometers from Caracas, famous for its strong German heritage and beautiful alpine-style atmosphere. The town was founded in 1843 by immigrants from the Black Forest region of Germany, and even today their traditions, architecture, and culture remain clearly visible. The area is also known for its cool climate, strawberry farms, flower plantations, and local food. Visitors enjoy fresh strawberries with cream, homemade jams, sausages, and German-style pastries. Small markets sell handicrafts, fruits, and traditional products made by local families. Another important place in Caracas is the 4F Monument and the Cuartel de la Montana, associated with former Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez. The term 4F stands for the 4th of February 1992, the day Chavez led a failed military uprising against the government. Although the rebellion did not succeed, it later became a turning point in Venezuelan politics. Today the site functions as a museum and memorial, and it is also the place where Hugo Chavez is buried. Many supporters visit the monument to remember the event that they believe started the Bolivarian Revolution. The National Pantheon in Caracas is one of Venezuela's most important historic landmarks. Originally built as a church, it was later transformed into a mausoleum to honor the nation's greatest heroes. At its center lies the tomb of Simón Bolívar, the liberator of much of South America, making this monument a powerful symbol of Venezuela's history and national identity. Thank you for watching. That's all for now. See you again. Goodbye.